Morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you could help me out with the videos and give them a thumbs up, that would mean a lot at the start of every video. Today we're just in this biomass store. This is where we chipped all the wood earlier on, just at the end of summer, and we managed to store 100 tons in here. I've just come in and checked on the wood chip every so often. This is what we've gone through so far since we loaded it up. This will probably last another month in here, but I just kick the edges around to keep the hopper fed up. It's one of my jobs, which I do. Oh, I try not to fall in there at the same time. There we go. But the trouble with wood chip now is it's getting more and more difficult to get hold of. The UK seems to be burning most of the wood which is growing, if that makes sense. So there's not enough supply to keep up with the demand. We're not allowed to import our wood either from like Russia or anything for the biomass stores, because biomass stores have to be used with local wood. You have to use locally sourced wood to get the RHI. On the bottom half of this field here, put the new lights on, and I put the green star on today. They're really quite powerful, those new LEDs. Anyway, this is where we had some salad potatoes this year. As you can see, the machine's been through, it's taken what it can, and now we're left with these ridges across all of this field. What we do every year is we just level out the ridges with the pottinger, which I've just been setting up. Pottinger could just do with the top link being adjusted. We'll just put it in the ground, see what it's like, and then I'll adjust the top link. I also need to put the discs in a little bit more because they've been out of the ground over the last few weeks when I've been doing this job. They just need to start working a bit more. We've got the dome on the roof again today, so that's a case of turning it on, set track, AB, start my A line, and then it says please drive 3 meters, drive my 3 meters, and then press set B, done. If I press the GPS button, it will then steer itself. Put that down, put the cultivator in. See, the wheels are just scrabbing against the potato row, so if I press the right hand button there, just on the screen, I will then straighten up our line. Probably do it again there, just to bring it back. And then hopefully it will then line up with the ridges enough so that we don't have to worry about the tyres hitting the potato bed. But now we just want to bring the discs down a little bit if we can. This is not my favourite job doing this. Put them down 2 holes. Oh my word. Right, I've adjusted the discs, but I tell you what, doing that and struggling on your own is not easy. They're really heavy, those discs. There's a hell of a lot of weight to them. And when you're out here on your own trying to do jobs, this is one of the problems in the UK is that, you know, there's less and less people in farming, so you have to do all the jobs on the farm for yourself. And if you want to help someone to help you, it's just too much money, it's too expensive. Which leads me on to my next point. We'll just see how that works. Oh, they're working much better, much better now. When you think about what a farmer contributes to society, what his or her contributions are, you know, significant in the form of food. You know, it's what people fundamentally need in order to live. And I just think it's crazy that farmers are providing something for society which is so important, and yet they're not being rewarded financially. In fact, quite the opposite. You know, in the next couple of years, farmers will be working for nothing, to be in debt basically, and nobody seems to be talking about it. It's not in the mainstream news. What about people's livelihoods? What about small businesses, small family farms, or larger farms as well? What about keeping them going? Because ultimately, small farms, big farms, they all contribute to the economy, and also farms employ people. We need people out there working, earning a living. We had some great feedback the other day about the labour shortage. Some of you guys were saying that you were able to earn a little bit extra money because of the labour shortage, and I've heard now that if you go broccoli picking in Lincolnshire, you can earn £30 an hour. Builders are now earning £300 a day. So, you know, there might be a labour shortage, but there's a lot of money out there to be made if you want it. Tell you what, just going up here, if you look at this, look. When I come to the end of the road, she goes up in the air a bit. So we might have to look at some sort of a weight at some point. So what's the way out? What's the way a farmer in the UK can still farm but also make a living? Well, on this farm, we've been able to continue to make a living. Some people say they don't want to see too much horse content in regards of the gallops, the arena, and the liveries, which is how we earn a living, as well as farming. And we've been able to put ourselves into a position with the farm so that we can basically still farm, but then we run other businesses, the diversified tourism and the livery yard. That's something we do to keep the show on the road, basically. And if we didn't have that, we wouldn't be able to be farming, we wouldn't be in the tractor now. So it's really important to understand that without the equine part of the farm, we wouldn't be around. And so I do ask that people just appreciate the equine side almost as much as the farming side, because that's basically how we're able to still make a living. And that will be the case with a lot of farmers going into the future. You might have a field which is fenced in for people to walk their dogs on. You might have a track on the farm where people come and ride their motorbikes, or it could be a campsite or some holiday cottages or something like that, as another source of income, so that when you have those bad years when you're not making any money from the actual farming, you're able to at least pay the bills and get by, basically. Something else as well which is quite exciting coming up later on this year is we're going to start looking at some cheaper tractor brands. I think now is probably not the time to be looking at, for a lot of farmers, to be looking at the premium brands, and I think now is probably going to be the time of smaller, more cost-effective machines for small to medium-sized farms and larger farms as well. We'll be looking more and more towards the end of the year at New Holland, Massey Ferguson, who, to be fair to Massey Ferguson, stand up for the small farmer. They make small machines. They generally do, I think, care about farms, small family farms. And also Kubota is another one which we want to have a look at, the new Japanese manufacturer on the market. A reliable workhorse which is affordable, but will also be powerful and capable enough to get the job done. So that's what we're going to be having a look at towards the end of the year, and also heading into 2022 will be budget tractors. Tractors which are a bit more affordable. On this farm, we always had, starting out, real budget tractors. 2 Zetas, 2 McCormicks, CX105s, and then we had our first second-hand John Deeres, and that was sort of our first stepping stone to buying John Deere tractors. And we have felt with John Deere, they always have been a good quality product. We're sort of getting to that point now where they're becoming very expensive. They've gone up and up and up. The build quality, I don't know if it's staying there or if it's starting to go down at the moment. Only time will tell with this 6R how long it's going to last for us. We are getting to that point now where we'll probably look at other brands, something a little bit more affordable for the tough times ahead, something a bit more realistic, because ultimately we don't want to spend most of our farming budget every year on a tractor, which is going to be costing the farm an arm and a leg. Luckily with this machine, we've almost paid this tractor off. So when we come to change it, we'll be able to near enough change for not a lot of money, if that makes sense. Although the difficulty is, and the problem is, with these new tractors, particularly with this one, is that we're going to start to get to a point where we get hit by the depreciation. So this tractor, say it's worth £80,000, in 2 years it might be worth £60,000, so we'll lose £20,000 in the tractor. So although you might not be paying the finance, you'll be losing money through depreciation. So it's quite a difficult one, really. And I know a lot of farmers try to keep their equipment up to date. It's a bit like tractors have become like almost iPhones now, in that you have to buy a new one every 3 or 4 years, whereas back in the day, they'd last 10 or 20 years. So it's a bit of a shame, really, that we're heading down that route with tractors. Although not all tractors are like that, but some are getting that way, or it seems to be as though they're getting that way. With sort of some sort of planned obsolescence. But something a bit more frugal, a bit more simple, I don't think will be such a bad idea. You have to leave a comment in the comment section today, and also if you give this video a thumbs up, that's much appreciated. Keeps the channel going, keeps all the new content coming out. Leave a comment what sort of budget tractor you'd like to see. Something a bit more affordable, something a bit more practical, perhaps reliable and simple. be positive, try and look out for the smaller farmer, and keep an eye out for some upcoming content of some more affordable tractors. We're also looking at a few implements for next year, mower and a baler, as I've said before. We'll be going to Agritechnica, hopefully, if that's still going ahead, and there's nothing else to stop us from going there. And we'd also love to look at a log splitter. We've got one of those coming very soon, so that's going to be really good fun. I can't put it on the 65 though, because the 65 hasn't got enough valves to run the log splitter, so we might have to put it on the 6R. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next one.